Okay, so we can extend the idea of implicit differentiation to functions of two variables. So let's suppose that our function is defined implicitly as f of xyz equals 0. So here we're thinking of z as our dependent variable and x and y as our independent variables. So we are going to find first the partial derivative of z with respect to x. How do we do this? Well, we use the chain rule. We first say, all right, let's think about how our function changes with respect to each variable, including z. So how the function changes with respect to x, and then we apply the chain rule and multiply by the derivative of x with respect to x. We'll also have a contribution to the change in our function from y. So the change in our function with respect to y, that's a partial derivative because our function depends on x and y, and it's implicitly defined in terms of x, y, and z. But now we also apply the chain rule here, and we have to multiply by the derivative of y with respect to x. And then our third component here is going to be the partial derivative of f with respect to z times the derivative of z with respect to x, which is what we're actually trying to find. Oops. Actually, I needed to make that a partial derivative of z with respect to x. And differentiating the entire equation, so I'm differentiating the equation here. The derivative of the right-hand side will be 0. Now, the reason that this one is partial is because z depends on x and y. X doesn't depend on anything, y doesn't depend on anything. So let's talk about what that gives us then in this equation. First of all, if we look at the first term on the left of this equation, we can see that dx will just be equal to 1 because x changes with respect to itself with a rate of change of 1. So that will just give us the partial derivative of f with respect to x. The second observation we can make here is that dy dx will actually be equal to 0 because y does not depend on x. Z depends on both x and y, but y does not depend on x. And so this term is eliminated in our equation. And so now we have partial of f with respect to x. We still have here partial of f with respect to z times the partial derivative of z with respect to x, which is what we're trying to find. So we'll solve for dz dx, del z, del x, by subtracting first partial of f with respect to x, and then dividing by the partial of f with respect to z. And we can write this a little bit more abbreviated as negative f with a subscript of x, so that's the partial of f with respect to x, divided by the partial of f with respect to z. And that's going to give us our partial derivative of z with respect to x when we are differentiating implicitly. We can go through the exact same process and find the partial derivative of z with respect to y. And so you might expect, if we follow the same idea, but this time dy will be equal to 1, that the partial of z with respect to y will be the negative partial with respect to y divided by the partial derivative, the partial derivative with, this should have been a z right here. It was written correctly above, but I can't seem to erase it now. Let's see if I can get that out. There we go. That's a z. Just to check here that I miswrote, this is correct. So this one will be the negative partial of y divided by the negative partial of z. So those are two equations that we can use to find the partial derivatives of a two-variable function when we're differentiating implicitly. So let's do an example that I think could clarify how we can use this. So for example, let's find the partial derivative of z with respect to x for the following implicitly defined function: 2x squared z minus 3xy squared plus y times z minus 8 equals 0. All right, so the things we're going to use this formula that the partial of z with respect to x is going to be the partial derivative of our function, with respect to x, the negative partial with respect to x divided by the partial with respect to z. Now, let's figure out how to find those partial derivatives. So to find the partial derivative of x, f, with respect to x, we think of this portion of our equation as our implicitly defined function, and we're going to take the derivative of that portion with respect to x holding y constant. So that means we hold both y and z constant. So we'll hold y and z constant because we're interested in the partial derivative with respect to x. So the first term is going to give us a 4xz. The second term will be a negative 3y squared. Yz does not depend at all, so I'm looking up here. Yz doesn't depend at all on x, neither does negative 8. And so that's going to be our partial with respect to x. Our partial derivative with respect to z, now we're going to hold both y and x constant. And for the first term, we'll get just the 2x squared. The second term does not depend on z at all, so that's going to give us 0. When we take the derivative of yz, we'll just get a plus y, and the derivative of negative 8 will be 0. So our partial derivative of z with respect to x is going to be negative 4xz minus 3y squared divided by 2x squared plus y. And we can rewrite this in the numerator as 3y squared minus 4xz divided by 2x squared plus y. Now, if we solved this equation up here, let me do up my pointer. If we solved this equation for z, which we can do, and then took the derivative of z with respect to x, we should expect to get the same thing. So let's do that just to check. All right, so here's going to be our check. And I'm going to solve the equation above for z. So first I'm going to keep 2x squared z on the left side of the equation as well as yz, and move everything else to the right side of the equation. So I'm going to add 8 and add 3xy squared. Now here on the left side we can factor out a z to get 2x squared plus y. And on the right side we have 8 plus 3xy squared. And now we have an explicit form of z, which is 8 plus 3xy squared divided by 2x squared plus y. So this is our function written explicitly. Now we can find the partial derivative of z with respect to x, which is what we want. And to do this here, we are going to hold y constant, fixed. So we're going to need to use the quotient rule. I think that's probably the most useful here. And The denominator is just 2x squared plus y. The derivative of the numerator with respect to x will be 3y squared minus the numerator, 8 plus 3xy squared, times the partial derivative with respect to x of the denominator, which is 4x. And this is all over 2x squared plus y squared. Now, let's try to simplify this a bit and see if we can make it look like our function above. The only thing we'll have to do is we would need to replace our z with the explicit expression of z that we have here. So it takes a lot of work to do this, but let's do it. I'm going to distribute the numerator to get, to get 6x squared y squared plus 3. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to leave this as is. I'm going to leave it. And instead, I'm going to take our expression from above for dz dx and replace z in place of our expression for z in place of z and see if we get the same thing. So I'm going to work backwards. So we have from above, that the partial of z with respect to x was 3y squared plus 4xz divided by 2x squared plus y. And here's the work that I'm going to do. I'm going to substitute for the explicit form of z that we already found, and then compare it to our derivative using the quotient rule. So we've got 3y squared plus 4x. Our explicit expression for z was 8 plus 3xy squared divided by 2x squared plus y. And this is all over 2x squared plus y. Now here, I am looking at my expression up here to see if I can make this look like that. And we for sure can. What I'm going to do is multiply numerator and denominator by this denominator to get rid of it. So by 2x squared plus y over itself. And this will give us the following. We'll have 3y squared times 2x squared plus y. I'm going to distribute the numerator, plus 4x times 8 plus 3xy squared over 2x squared plus y squared. And I can see already that we have a mistake. It doesn't quite look like it. They're almost close to each other, this expression and this expression, except this is a minus, but that's because I copied, why is it? Because I copied dz dx incorrectly, and this should have been a minus here. So let me point to where the minus should be. This right here should be minus. I copied that incorrectly, which is going to make this a minus and this a minus. And what we've shown is, let me change that. I'm going to make this minus, this is minus, and this is minus. So notice, if we compare our derivative, when we did it implicitly, this is what we obtained, to when we solved for z and used the quotient rule, you can see that we get exactly the same expressions. Now, it's a lot shorter to use implicit differentiation, which we did above by using our formula of the partial of our implicitly defined function with respect to x divided by the partial of the implicitly defined function with respect to z, and making that negative.